Alrighty, we are back, and we're still working on this car. So, not too long after we left you in the last video, old gas tank there, new gas tank here. I'm gonna wire wheel this off. Pull the old lines off. Jangus, that's what I forgot to get at O'Reilly's. I need to get fuel line. All right, looks like I gotta go to the parts store tomorrow. Excuse me, and get some more fuel line. I have some, but gotta get some fresh stuff. The other thing is, if you didn't notice in the last video, the GSLC tank has a 1/2 inch line, which is big right there. Same size as this, so I'm gonna use this stainless reducer to get it down to 3/8, which should be good, so I can run regular 3/8 fuel line. I probably wouldn't run like a, they make like brass ones too, which I just have stuff like that here, but the stainless ones are good because they're stainless and they don't rust. So I also got belts. So I think my goal for tonight, tonight/tomorrow, is to tomorrow I'll get the tank back in with all the proper lines and stuff, but tonight I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do, get that painted. I'm gonna get these last vacuum lines swapped over, and then throw these belts on it and grab the battery and hopefully just test fire this thing on some starting fluid. I got oil and coolant and all that jazz, so once it lights, then we know she's good. So we'll get some fluids in it and see what's up. So let's get cracking on cleaning this gas tank. Alright, we've got oil in it. I've got to hook up the throttle and choke cable yet, which is going to be a royal pain in the butt, because they're like buried down in here and the engine's in. I put together all of the fuel door switch stuff. So the interior is all buttoned back up. And the gas tank has a fresh coat of just like black truck bed liner, the really gritty stuff, not the rubberized stuff. And then some regular oil, just black paint, just to basically keep the, I don't know. Is it really going to do that much in the long run? No. But the tank didn't have any crazy pinholes in it, so this at least seals it all up, keeps a lot of the dirt off of it for now, until, will it rust more, or he takes better care of his car, or however that works. So, I guess you can't really like take better care of it, but, you know, ideally it won't rust in the next 10 to 12 to 20 years. So we're going to go ahead, and the tank, I may slap that back in, or I actually can't because I don't have the lines. So the tank's just going to slide back in the garage. I'm going to hook these cables up, which I'm not going to film it because it's a pain in the butt, but I will give you the tips and tricks after I do get it done. And then once the cables are hooked up, I'm going to douse a little fuel down the carburetor, just pour some in there, and then crank it over, see if it lights. Just gives me a little brrr, and we'll see what she do. See what she does. See what she does. So, still got to put coolant in it yet. Coolant and water. So we'll probably get that in there. Make sure we don't have any leaks, and go from there. I do got to crank it over with the distributor cap off, just to make sure that she's got oil flowing through her veins, so we don't burn it up. And then yeah, hopefully it lights quick. It should. Just a little 12A. They're pretty stout. Pretty good little motors. It probably would have ran mildly okay on like the dead faces that it had before, but as you saw the housings, we should be glad that we took it apart, because now this thing should be good for a while yet. So, on to the next part. Alright y'all, the throttle, cable, and choke cable are hooked up. It was a real pain in my butt. My hands are not entirely enthused. And I did just notice, if you take a good close look at this key, if this thing will focus in on the key and not the light, maybe, this baby is pretty cracked. How about that? See the break in it? So, just my luck with this car. We're going to go crank this thing over. What are you doing out there? You're getting a little far away, dog. Letty's usually just off the leash when she's here, because she lives here. Alright. So, we're in the car now. We're gonna go ahead and just turn on the key. We got power. And I'm just gonna bump the starter. Ooh. Alright, so she's cranking. So we're just gonna crank till we see some oil pressure. Let me turn the lights on. Oh, there we go. Alright. I'd say that's probably decent enough. I'm gonna put the jump box on it, and I'm gonna drop some fuel down that carburetor here. Let me get this guy unplugged. Get it sitting up here. So this is not a new battery. This is the battery out of my rotary truck, because, well, batteries are expensive. Not really, but they're just a, we'll call it a wear item for lack of a better term, especially if you have a bunch of cars. So you go through a lot of batteries because, you know, cars sit and then they don't run and then whatever, and you do this for forever and you crank on them and la-ti-da-di-da. That's what happens. So, basically, I sold my battery out of the silver car with Big Red because its battery was dead and wouldn't take a charge, so it got that battery. So this is a rotary truck battery because this thing needs a battery too, which I just got to buy one and put it in here, but I figured I had this here, so I'm just using it. Anyways, long story for no apparent reason. What was I doing? Fuel down the hat. Let's get some fuel. I think this can still has some in it. Oh yeah. I don't know if y'all can hear it. A little bit of fuel in the hat here. Let's grab, I've got a steel spider cricket, little steel bowl. We're just gonna put a dash in there. Come on. Oh, there we go. That's a decent little dash. All right, let's pour some of this in here. Just like that. Okay. And now we're gonna crank this baby over. See what she does. It should just be enough to just light off, and then I'll know. And we'll throw some coolant in it. Well, she wants it. She's trying. She's trying. Might need a little more fuel. That's where we're at. We'll see what she does whenever I get fuel to it. Like real fuel. Substantial amounts of fuel. So, well, I think... What else we gotta do, dog? Because I don't have enough to put the fuel tank in, and up here is pretty much buttoned up besides the fan and the shroud, which is fine. That's easy. Belts are on, batteries in it for now. Oh, I need to change the oil in the Jeep. So I'm going to go change the oil in the Jeep. We'll continue this tomorrow. Alrighty, fellas. We are, it's another day, back in the shop. Getting ready to, excuse me. Getting ready to tidy up the last bits on this car before it has to go out of my garage tonight. Reason being, so here's what we got to do. We'll just recap from the beginning. This is what's going to happen tonight. I got a little bit of a late start. It's about 8 o'clock right now. Not a big deal though. So, gas tanks. Got to go in. New fuel lines. I got new stuff right here. Got new hose clamps. We're going to put the fresh up gas tank back in the car. Hook all that up. Test the fuel pump. See if that works. Should work. It's a stock one. Hopefully it's good. If not, I have a spare. We'll swap it in. Maybe we'll add that to the list. That's the fuel system. That should mean we're getting fuel at the carburetor, etc. Good to go. She should fire. Second thing, finish up the last couple vacuum lines to fix. I got this right here. It's like 4 more, just the top solenoid lines, and that's about it. So those are good. We cranked the car over already, however, it didn't really want to start. So we got to play with the timing a little bit, probably just advance it, see what it does. Third thing, coolant, fan, and shroud. Maybe that's not 3 things, but that's all the things I can remember. So once that stuff's done, we'll slap the wheels on it, we will air the tires up, and this thing has to go out of my garage. Reason being, even if I don't get it started, but that always means it's buttoned up and then all it needs is a few tweaks to get started, so that makes it easy. Reason being, which is going to be dark and y'all ain't going to be able to see me, but that's okay. So, there's an FD RX-7 here. Which, this may look really weird with this light, because this flashlight's super bright. Anyways, there's an FD RX-7 here. Why is it here? If I'd have bought one, y'all would have known. So, the reason this car's here is, it's a good friend of mine's, and it needs the oil pan gasket changed out. So it leaks oil pretty good from the oil pan gasket. Reason I'm doing it is, well, it's kind of a pain, and they're working on another project now with their other cars. So they've got other stuff in their garage to be able to do it. So he's going to hook me up, and I'm going to change it for him. So what are we doing? We're going to pull this car in the garage tonight is the goal, because I need to get it in there. And then I'm going to pull the oil pan off in the car, which is a mild pain in the butt. However, it can be done. And then I got to let it sit for a couple days so all the oil can drain out of the engine. Then we'll put the oil pan back in. So if that makes it in this video, that's what's happening in the next video. The other thing that I need to do, which is kind of in front of this one. So my convertible has like not tons of negative camber in the front. And I figured out that there's an extra set of bolt holes in my camber plates, because I'm not a, low drift boy jabroni. This is my first ever set of like real coilovers I've had. So I've got to chuck some more camber in the front. Thank you, Chronicles of Boost on Instagram for pointing that out. He's like, yo, put some more camber in this thing. So I need to do that. Once I do that, then I can lower the front of the car back down, because then it won't rub anymore with my meats. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow before I start on the FD, because the FD still starts and runs. But 100%, no matter what, this car out of my garage tonight. Might be a pain, may have to move the repo, may have to do something. I just need it out, because I need to get that stuff done this weekend for Johnny. So, back to cranking. This video might be a little long, but whatever. Back to cranking. Alright, homies, it is now, I don't know, what time is it? After 10 o'clock, I think. My phone was dead, so I put it inside on the charger. Got the fuel pump out. Doesn't work. Took the fuel filter out. It's super crusty. I'm going to sneeze really bad. Whew. Okay, back to normal. Anyways, gas tank's in. Everything up here is hooked up. So all this is done besides the 2 fuel lines. So I got the old fuel pump out. It wasn't working. I got a spare fuel pump laying right here. We're going to put in it. I need to look and see if I got a fuel filter, but I got to hook it up. Man, if there was a smell function on YouTube, you would not want to smell how bad that fuel is that's in that pump. It is junk. So, also, radiator and stuff's on. I don't have coolant in it yet, but it's all on there. It's all hooked up. So, just got to top that off. But I am going to hook this other fuel pump up and see what she does. It's only got about 2 gallons of gas in, so hopefully it can suck it out. See what happens. Alright, y'all. Getting ready to close this video out. But, final update. So, last night, I went inside after I was messing with the fuel pump. It's like 11:30. Ended up falling asleep on the couch, taking a break with the dog because she was tired. So, I was just sitting there, fell asleep sitting up. Mildly pretty funny. So, what happened because of that is I didn't get the car done, didn't get it out. So, fuel pump's out. Fuel smells like apple cider. It's terrible, the old fuel in there. I got the new fuel pump here I'm going to put in and wire it up. So I'm just going to do that right whenever I get home from work today. Then the car should either, one, fire up and be good to go and drive out. And I'll put more gas in it. Or B, I'm going to move it out of the garage anyways with the tractor or something. It is 100% pretty much, besides the fuel pump, all bolted together minus the air cleaner. So it cranks, everything like that. Fuel pump gets voltage. I checked all of that to make sure it was working. And the built-in controller works. So with that, I'm going to end the video there. So the next video you will see is adjusting suspension on the FC, fixing an oil pan leak on the FD, and then this car like running. So, thanks for tuning in. Sorry to suspensefully drag you on through this process, although it is actually dragging me on through this process too, because I keep finding other stuff wrong. So, if you like the content, subscribe. If you don't like the content, well, don't subscribe. So, either way, thanks for making it this far in the video, and thanks for watching. Keep it rad.